Welcome, honored viewers. Tonight, we witness the ocean burning in a deadly clash of great empires. Imagine waking up at midnight, seeing massive walls of fire rushing straight toward your fragile ship. In 1588, the great Spanish Armada sailed forth to conquer the English throne forever. They brought giant floating fortresses, demanding surrender from a vastly outmatched English navy. England refused to ever bow. They unleashed pure hellfire to crush Spanish pride. Let us rewind the clock now. The year is 1588. Tension fills the dark rooms of royal palaces across all Europe. King Philip II of Spain orders his mighty fleet to invade the defiant English coastline. According to old Spanish records, they built 130 massive floating wooden castles. This great armada carries 30,000 brave men, armed with heavy iron cannons of the age. Leading this giant steel force is the proud Duke of Medina Sidonia, a brave nobleman. He wears shining silver armor, his dark eyes reflecting absolute faith in ultimate victory. They sail across the dark ocean waves, intending to land horses and soldiers on the British shores. If these massive boots step onto their green lands, Queen Elizabeth's royal crown will surely fall in ruin. Across the rough waters stands the English Navy, a smaller but incredibly agile fighting force. Sir Francis Drake guides these brave sailors. He is a seasoned commander with a ruthless battle mind. His face is hardened by the harsh ocean winds. He knows that brute strength alone cannot win this naval war. The English ships are short and low, built purely for speed and very quick tactical maneuvers. Historical texts note that English cannons could fire much faster than their heavy Spanish counterparts. As the two great forces close the gap, freezing channel winds begin to howl in dark anticipation. Tension grips every sailor. They hold their wooden ropes tightly, praying for divine protection. The Spanish soldiers stand tall on their majestic decks, confident in their grand crusade against England. Their polished morion helmets reflect the pale moonlight, creating a terrifying wall of steel. Opposite to them, English deck gunners load heavy iron cannonballs with absolute precision. They are outnumbered and outgunned. However, they possess an intimate knowledge of these waters. Duke Medina raises his sword. The great battle for the future of Europe has finally begun. Thunderous roars echo as the first volleys of deadly cannon fire shatter the ocean silence. Thick smoke quickly blankets the battlefield, turning the bright day into a chaotic gray nightmare. The English ships dart in and out of the thick fog like angry wolves hunting a massive wounded bear. However, the iron balls bounce off the incredibly thick oak hulls of the giant Spanish galleons. The Armada remains tight. Their defense is an impenetrable floating fortress of heavy wood. Day after day, the naval dance continues. The English fleet wastes precious ammunition in vain. Francis Drake watches with deep concern. His men are exhausted, and their gunpowder is running low. The Spanish form a crescent shape, creating a heavily armored half-moon on the dark waters. Any English vessel that dares to approach the center is immediately crushed by crossfire. Historians confirm that Medina's defensive strategy was flawless during these early fights. The Galleons move as one indestructible entity, repelling every single minor assault. Deep inside the Spanish ships, brave captains drink wine and praise God for their seemingly assured triumph. They safely anchor near the port of Calais, waiting for Parma's massive ground troops to arrive and board. Anchored close together in tight formation, they believe the deep sea is their protector tonight. They are 30,000 strong. Their massive iron anchors hold them firmly against the ocean currents. Meanwhile, the English commanders hold a desperate council of war in the cold, dimly lit cabin. If they attack the Crescent directly, their fragile ships will be crushed to wooden splinters in minutes. If they do nothing, the Spanish army will cross the channel, and the English kingdom will quickly fall. Time is running out. The howling wind outside mirrors the chaotic anxiety within them. Put yourself in their shoes. Would you choose to surrender, or risk absolutely everything on a mad gamble? Sir Francis Drake looks at the map. He notices the wind direction and the strong pull of the ocean tide. Both the wind and the ocean tide are blowing violently toward the tightly anchored Spanish fleet. A terrifyingly dark and ruthless idea begins to form in his sharp, tactical mind. He orders his men to select 8 of their oldest, most battered wooden ships for a special mission. The sailors strip these 8 vessels of all valuable weapons and essential sailing equipment. Instead of heavy cannons, they load the lower decks with highly explosive black gunpowder and sulfur. They smear the wooden masts and canvas sails with sticky black tar, animal fat, and flammable pitch. These are no longer fighting ships. They are being transformed into massive, floating bombs of destruction. This ancient and savage tactic is known in naval warfare simply as the dreaded Hellburners. In the pitch-black night, a small group of brave English volunteers carefully steer these ships forward. They silently cut through the dark waters, moving closer to the unsuspecting Spanish formation. Spanish watchmen are unaware. They gaze into the deep, dark night, hearing only the cold ocean wind. Medina Sidonia rests in his grand cabin, confident that thick wooden walls will keep them safe. He truly believes the English are too cowardly to attack an anchored fleet in a heavy storm. Little does he know, a devastating inferno is silently drifting toward his armada. The volunteers on the Hellburners light their torches. Their hearts pound heavily against their tired ribs. They set the flammable decks ablaze. Fire instantly catches the tarred ropes and dry wooden surfaces. Within seconds, the 8 ships erupt into towering pillars of blinding yellow and orange flame. The volunteers quickly jump overboard into small rowboats, rowing away from the impending blast. The strong wind catches the burning sails, pushing the 8 fire ships directly into the sleeping giant. Suddenly, the Spanish watchmen scream in absolute horror. The dark horizon is glowing brightly. 8 massive walls of blazing fire emerge from the thick fog, rushing toward them with terrifying speed. The heat is incredibly intense, melting the cold mist. Sparks fly like a deadly meteor shower. Heavy guns loaded with thick gunpowder begin to explode on their own from the extreme ocean heat. The sound is deafening. It sounds like the gates of hell have just burst open right on the water's surface. Pure panic instantly grips the entire Spanish fleet. The disciplined sailors become a scared mob. They remember the horrifying rumors from past wars. Hellburners can vaporize a ship fast. Duke Medina rushes to the deck, his calm composure shattered by the terrifying fiery sight. If those huge fire ships touch the tightly packed galleons, the flames will instantly spread across the fleet. According to naval history, it takes hours to properly lift an iron anchor from the sea.
Everywhere, we can't stop it! To the lifeboats! Abandon ship! Every man for himself! Run! To arms! Quickly! Crack an axe and fight! They are boarding us!
Kraken sleeps still, chained by this very iron. But when the moon is full, you can still hear it call.